Hey bestie, hi, how are ya? Welcome to another Bookmas video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my yearly TBR knockout video with you. With you. Why did I start off this video like that? Well, we know how it is here. Chaos. Ginnie special brain. Yeah. Now let's go over a few things about this challenge. The TBR Knockout Challenge is pretty simple. Basically, what you do is you knock out a lot of the books that either you physically own, that's been on your TBR, or maybe you don't own them and they're just on your TBR for a long amount of time. Yeah, it's that simple. When I say knockout, it's kind of like you read them. You get it? Knockout. By reading them, you're knocking them out. No. Okay. All right. I tried. This challenge is a yearly challenge. So it starts on January 1st, of like the new year, duh. And it ends December 31st.
What about if I don't have a bookshelf, Ginnie? How do I join?
Okay, so it's pretty simple. You just join. You watch this whole video. Maybe, you like me enough to subscribe. Yeah. But no, like for real. So what you do is either you can use like a physical bookshelf for this challenge, or you could create one on Goodreads or I guess any other site, because all I know really for the most part is Goodreads. I don't know of any other sites that allows you to create like a shelf for books. The cool thing about this challenge is not only are you knocking out like books you physically own, but you could also knock out those those like 10,000 books you have on your Goodreads shelf that you want to read. Luckily for me, I don't have 10,000 books on there. I only have 1,400 and something. You can add those books too, whether you physically own them or don't. Along with this challenge, I also put in a series knockout challenge. I mean, when I do these challenges, I always include a series in it. So I figured, hey, they go hand in hand, right? Like TBR knockout is for, like your regular standalones or whatever. And then series knockout is for the series that has been sitting on your shelves, whether it's physical or digital, that you want to read. I don't know about you, bestie, but I know like for me, that's a big goal of mine, is to try to tackle the books that I already own. Girl, I mean, it's only going to get bigger. And there's only going to be more books added to my shelves. I need as many shelves as I can get for those books. And next year, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more. Yeah. But anyways, you know what? Let's dive into this video in its full form so I can show you what exactly you have to do in the process. First things first, I'm going to talk about the negative, aka the books I didn't get to read this year. Just get it out the way as opposed to starting with the books I did read. Maybe this year I should try it the opposite way and see how I feel about that. Yeah, I'm gonna do the positive first, aka the books I did read this year. Okay, bestie, so did I read this? No. No. This is actually part of books that were hauled and gifted to me. Yeah, it's just so pretty. I had to put it on my shelf, and yeah. Let's just move along. This year, I did finish Vicious. Oh my God, I know. Yay. I did read this duology. I'm happy that I did because it's been on my TBR for the longest. Besides that, like it was on it last year and I didn't get to read it. I don't know if it was on it the year before, but it doesn't matter. I read it. I am currently in the process of finishing this series. I am on House of Flame and Shadow, I think it's called. And I do plan on finishing that this year. This is literally like a 10 to 15 pound weight. Another series that was completed this year. Oh. These books are alive, I tell you. It's the Jack the Ripper series by Carrie Maniscalco. Yes. I'm so glad that I finished this series because this one definitely was on my TBR knockout last year. This year, I was like, no, we're not playing. We're finishing. And here we are. Series complete. I guess I could add Iron Flame. I know, bestie, that, this is not fully finished. Trust me, I am aware because I am excited for next month. I mean, I've only ranted and raved about it in like every Barnes and Noble video I recently recorded. If that doesn't tell you how excited I am for Onyx Storm. And guess what? Look at that. I actually remember the name now. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, pat on the back to me. I'm still going to add this in there because I am up to date with the series. Actually, let me get my reading journal. That's going to help a lot with series, even though I have not updated that. But we're not going to talk about that. I am back with my handy dandy reading journal. Thank God I have this because this does help me when it comes to remembering. I mean, I do have the shelves on Goodreads as well, but this does help because I like to see things physically as well. Oh, now that I see this, I'm going to be sharing this in my Patreon, Read the World. Yeah, I called it Read the World. And as you see, like, I created this page. I took my time to create this. Add all the countries from Africa and each of the continents. And this is just a lifetime challenge, okay? I mean, come on. Not even as a yearly challenge this was going to be done. Because look at all those countries. Like, yeah. And then that's just not the end of it. I mean, hello. We have, what, 7 continents? I'm mad I had to like really think about that. But yeah, and then I have Asia, Australia, and Oceania. Yeah. This one is Central America and the Caribbean. Basically, what you do is you color it in. You color it in, cross out the country. I mean, we gotta have North America too, because, we do read things that pertain to North America. And it would be nice to like read, the whole state or whatever. That would be fun. The whole state, all the states. Yeah, that sounds better. Oh, and I thought that was the last one, but no, it's because I put them all alphabetically. South America. This will be available to my Patreon. If you're not aware, I am having a giveaway right now. Firstly, subscribe. Secondly, you let me know down below that you'd like to join. And this is on Discord. When will this giveaway end? Whenever the heck I want it to. But anyways, back to this, right? Because I'm just here rambling. You know what, bestie? Now that I have the series tracker here, we're just going to go over the books from here. And this was initially all the series that I was planning to read. I don't know. I was very delulu. I was so delusional. But you know what? A lesson has been learned. And I will talk about lessons that were learned. The Dreamland series was not complete. I didn't touch the other 2. And that's okay. I don't even know what this series is called, but it's Daughter of No Worlds, Children of Fallen God, Mother of Death and Dawn. I started this one and then I just stopped out of nowhere. It's not that I wasn't enjoying it. I just didn't get too far into it. I might as well take those out right now. We might as well show these chunkers. The Dark, what is it? Artifices? Yes. Series that I still didn't get to read. I should have read these. These have been on my TBR Knockout Challenge. I think like 2 years in a row, maybe even 3. Because at one point I didn't have what is it called? Queen of Air and Darkness. And then last year I got it just so it can give me that motivation. I was like,
yes, I'm gonna read it. It's gonna be my top priority. Blah, 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 blah.
and here we are. But it's okay. It's okay. You know what? Yeah, let's just set these down because these books are heavy. And back to the handy dandy reading journal, because that was embarrassing. I also had these two on here. Obviously they didn't get touched. The Bride Test. Oh god, that one has been on here too for like 2 years, and in like multiple monthly TBR videos, and it didn't happen. Let's just say that. I initially was going to start this one. As you can see, it's still in the wrapping. Yeah, so I just never did. And I didn't want to take it out of the wrapping until I knew for sure I was going to start it. And you know what's real smart of me is that I am starting a manga called Sweat and Soap, I believe it's called. Yeah, I just borrowed it from the library. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And you know what I realized too? This is like, there's like mad books. I think it's like in the 20s. Had I known that there was so many of these books, I don't think I would have got these. I mean, if I like it enough, then I will collect them little by little, and it'll just have its own space, you know, because that would be cute. It would be real cutesy. This is, I think, getting rolled over. It is. It's just a manga, right? It's just a manga. I should be able to finish this quickly. I mean, then again, if that was the case, this wouldn't be here. You know what? Moving on. A crone. Okay, brain, let's go. Crown of Feathers. Yeah, that series. And you see, I didn't even update. This is what I'm talking about. I didn't update my reading journal. Horrible. That definitely has to be a goal again for next year. But you know what? That's a whole video in itself. That didn't get read. A Darker Shade of Magic series, that didn't get read. These two books, that didn't get read. And mind you, me and Bestie Christy, we kept on saying like, oh my God, we got to read Things We Hide from the Dark, blah, blah, blah. We read a whole lot of other things, sure. We did, but not that. No. I already went through these. I actually did a mistake here. We don't need to know about that. I had these on my TBR. That didn't get read neither. But you know, it's okay. It's okay. Because there's more and more TBR knockouts to come. It's okay. Okay, besties. So that was all the series that got read and didn't get read. I'm still proud of the ones that were read because they were on my TBR for long too. Maybe not Crescent City, but you know, it's okay. I mean, it's Sarah J. Maas. You know, you have to read her books, you know, like right away. There's just no, I'm gonna keep waiting, because I did wait a while before I read Crescent City and A Court of Silver Flames. Okay, you know what? This year, oh, I think I need more coffee. Hold up. As I was saying, yes. This year was just the year, you know. I was really feeling it. I was like, okay, we're jumping right back into Sarah J. Maas world. Yeah. And it's happening, and it is going to be officially finished this year, because I am not going into 2025 still reading House of Flame and Shadow. No. Anyways, let's keep going. We're not going to pay attention to these books because these books were actually just me getting excited for them and just adding them. Yeah, we're just not, okay? We'll just put those there. Let's go into the other section of the TBR Knockout, which is just regular TBR Knockout, I guess. As you see, I did read the fine print, The Push, Cinderella is Dead, Bunny. Oh, Bunny, how I love Bunny. Yes, yes. Yeah, I think it'd be easier just doing it like this. I have a feeling it might fall, and then I'm going to try to save it with my bad hand.
Woo, that's heavy. I better use my strong hand.
I mean, it's not a bad hand, okay? It's just a hurt hand. All right, anyways. The Witch's Heart. Olga dies dreaming. Okay, let's figure it out. Yeah, I could hold it like this. If it falls, it falls. How? Just how did I manage to do that? How? Okay. Take the lead. Yeah, this is not a good idea. Or Dead of Winter. Does It Hurt? The Hacienda. 5 Broken Blades. The Guest List. Icebreaker. Into the Water. Without Merit. Misery. Leilani of the Distant Sea. My Heart is a Chainsaw. The Shadows Between Us. The Fury. Scarred. The Lost Apothecary. Sweet Nightmare. Gothicana. Final Girls. Long Shot. Breathe and Count Back from 10. When I was Puerto Rican. For the most part, all those books that I mentioned were books that were on my physical TBR. So I am super happy about that. Let me count them real quick and tell you the grand total. What I counted was 28 books in total. There are other books that I am currently reading that are almost done, but so far it's 28. Enough of that. Let's go with the books that I didn't get to read. Hopefully it's less. Hopefully. Half of a Yellow Sun, My Sweet Audrina. This is actually a series. Like, there's I think 2 or 3 books, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? All this time I thought this was a standalone, and I know that the new, like the other books, I mean, they're not that new. They probably were published like 10 years ago or so. Yeah, it didn't get read. It's the point, Ginnie. Moving along. A Proposal They Can't Refuse, Kindred, The Tiger's Daughter, The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. I actually still have time to finish this, okay?
And what gave you the confidence? Delusion.
You know what? It's just wishful thinking, all right? It's wishful thinking. Norse mythology. I'm actually debating if I even want to bother with this. I'm not that into mythology. I'm not a mythology girly, especially if it doesn't hook me in like right away. I don't know. I'm really thinking about unhauling it. Besties, let me know if you read this and feel like I would like it. Please just comment down below. The Collective, Dark Notes. I don't even know if I want to show these books, bestie, but I have to. I mean, I'm nothing but honest and straightforward, right? So I am so sorry. These books have been on this TBR Knockout Challenge quite a few times. It's been on multiple challenges, multiple monthly TBRs, like, you know, embarrassing is what this is. Love and Other Words, another one that it's embarrassing, the fact that I still have not read this book. Okay. It's so much fun looking back at the books you didn't read. Like Heaven's Official Blessings. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it was on my shelves for long. I believe it was just last year that I purchased this book, I think. So, yeah. Master of Salt and Bones, Heartless Heathens, Sisters Under the Rising Sun, Carrie Soto is back. That wasn't recording.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Okay, I don't even know where it was left off at. Hidden Pictures, The Burning Girls, The Devil Wears Black, Catherine House. Okay, so with this one, I'm really thinking about like possibly unhauling it because I see it has such low ratings and like the reviews aren't obviously the greatest. I feel like, would I be wasting my time reading this? But the thing is that because I love Bunny so much, and Bunny is like considered, I guess, like the weird girl type books. So I'm just like, maybe I should read it because a lot of people didn't like Bunny because of like the weirdness of it and like them being confused and lost and stuff like that. I don't know if I want to unhaul this because I want to try it out for myself. But let me know if you've read this, what you thought. Anyways, yeah, we'll see. The Hero of Ages, Forever Never, Things We Never Got Over. Same author, wrong book. Things We Never Got Over is the first book, which I loved. I don't know why. Why did my brain just instantly associate this like Things We Never Got Over? I guess it's because I know it's a Lucy Score book, but still, it's like, what? Things We Never Got Over is blue, okay? They do have the same font in the front, but anyways, yeah. Things We Hide from the Light. 7 Days in June. Did I read this in June like I wanted to? No, obviously not, because it's here in the unread pile. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I always have to look at it because I like instantly my brain wants to throw in Evelyn Hugo. Which is my favorite book, by the way. Oh boy, bestie. And 2 other books that were previously on my TBR for like a year, maybe 2. A Flicker in the Dark and The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I guess this just wasn't their year. I apologize. Okay, so those were all the unread books. As you can see, the shelf, well, from what you can see, there's actually 3. But they're empty and a little dusty. But anyways, yeah, let me tell you how many unread books I have, and let's see if I won or my books won. Let's see. Okay, besties, so you're not gonna believe this, but it's a tie. I have 28 read books, and you know that's not counting the series. We're not counting the series into this. And 28 unread books. Wow, that's great. Actually, wait a minute, no. I literally win, because at first I'm like, damn, couldn't I have like 29? But you know what? No, I'm still going to win because I am almost finished with some books that I'm currently reading. Yeah, I won. I don't know what the final number is going to be. That's awesome. So I win. I did way better than last year, and that's great. But I noticed that I did way better anyways because I did see a lot of books turned. And that's the beauty of this challenge, is that you get to, like, if you do a physical, if you have a physical bookshelf and you do it, it's like a motivator too, because you're able to see the books that you finished and that you turned around and see the ones that you haven't. Once it's more over the other, you're just like, oh no, I need to try to read at least something more from my own books. So that's great. That's amazing. Okay. Yeah. Now it's time to become Bob the Builder. Time to build my new bookshelves. Bookshelf. Just singular. It's just one. I am not sure what I'm going to do with this one. But what I am going to do is most likely put all of these books back on here, so like that they're not in the way while I'm building, because that is a lot of books. Yeah, it is. Get off! Get off! Milo, get off! Bookshelf is done. Don't mind that. That's just temporary. I definitely don't want to use that shelf space for my printer. I took out the books that I own that are for the TBR Knockout Challenge, And there's actually more that I have to get. Well, the series, this is the final of it. And I'll explain why it looks like so little, especially since that series. The other books, like standalones and stuff like that, this is also not the final. I still have a few more books that I have to get and add to here. Okay, besties. So as you can see, it is definitely the next day. Like, obviously, I'm not wearing what I wore yesterday. Yeah. And the red lipstick is gone. Ugh, I don't like wearing red lipstick. But yeah, I did so much better than I did last year when it came to picking out books I wanted to read. I am super excited about that because I'm like, girl, you did that. You learned your lesson.
Slay!
I learned not to pick a whole bunch of series, okay? Like, I didn't go crazy picking every single book and being like, yes, I want to read this. Yes, I want to read this, like I normally would. As you can see, there's definitely less books here. Probably all of these books can just fit in one shelf. And I might be pushing it, I know. Maybe 1.5. For the TBR Knockout for this year of 2024, I had 48 books, just like the standalone type books. And then for the series, I had 33 books. I actually didn't get to check like how many series that was, but I think it was probably like 10 series, I want to say. In total, I had 81 books that I wanted to read. And I realized that there was actually a few books that I just randomly added. For next year, for my TBR Knockout challenge, which is, you know, the regular standalone books, I have 25 books. So I went down a lot from 48 to 25. Bestie, I did amazing. And then for the series, I have 11 books. Basically 11 series. It's really bothering me that it's off. And I'm like,
Girl, maybe you should take out one of the series and there you go.
but I'm also like,
Girl, no. There's no other series that I want to take out. I don't want to take out anything from this series. Challenge.
and then from my TBR Knockout challenge, I'm just like,
There's nothing else that I want to take out.
I already took out some books, and then I have like a separate shelf on my Goodreads that is like a 2025 TBR hopefuls type list. For example, since I know I'm gonna read Onyx Storm, that's really not a hopeful, but it's on there just in case I forget. Am I gonna really forget Onyx Storm and forget to read that like next year? No, but you know, you never know. So I wanted to play it safe. This year, what I did was I added all my series, right? So there are the 11 series here. But because I'm being smarter with the books that I buy, literally almost all these books is just the first book. Now, there's like 2 of them, I think, that I do have the second book. One of them is because I bought it around the time when I just used to buy whole series, even though I don't have the whole series for this one. Then for the other one that I own the second book, I mean, firstly, I'll explain. Yeah, it was on sale, so I just couldn't pass it up. And a lot of people rant and rave about it. So the way I'm going to do my series next year, I'm going to read the first book. If I enjoyed it, I will continue the series. If I didn't enjoy it, then it just needs to go. I learned that through this year of reading certain series, and then I'm just like, do I really want to continue this series? Nah. So, and do I even want to own that book? Nah, thank you, Kindle Unlimited, because that definitely saves me money. I feel like sometimes there's really no point in still having it on my shelf. So I'm thinking about doing a mid-year unhaul. But then the other thing that I think about is if I do that, then it's not going to show like, you know, all the books that I read. So it's just like, But again, a girl needs space. So if I can get rid of a book sooner, I am perfectly fine with that. Like, I'm just like, you know what? It's okay because it irks me. Again, I need shelf space, and yeah, it could just go. I could just go. The other thing that I learned, sometimes the books that I picked while setting up this TBR Knockout Challenge, it just doesn't hit anymore. That has happened a few times with certain books. So that was my other reason for picking less books, because I want to also just mood read. It's nice to leave space too for those type of books that you want to include. And then I don't feel so pressured, because it's like when I have all those books, I'm like, damn, I didn't read all these books, you know? For the most part, these books right here, like I have to read them. You know what I mean, okay? That I hope to read them, all right? Enough of that. I know you're dying to see the books that I picked, so let's get into those. So usually the way I do this to set it up is that I will first put all the books on their spine. Yeah, their spine. So like that, I can put them in alphabetical order. One of the series that I'm hoping to read in 2025 is From Blood and Ash. I had this for so long already, and I feel like,
girl, we need to read this.
As you see, I have the second one in my hand because I bought both of them. And that was definitely around the time where I just bought a lot of books mindlessly, even though I still do that. Okay, don't get it twisted, I still definitely do that, but for series I try not to anymore. Like, it's rare if I do, or there's like a good enough reason for me to like get the first and the second book. For the most part, I am not doing that anymore. I just get the first book and that's it. This is a series that I plan on reading. Set it up so nice and pretty on my bookshelf. The next series that I hope to read is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Obviously, this is another series that I purchased and I got the second book for. And this was actually recent. This was a this year purchase. So this is part of my video that's coming soon of all the books I hauled in 2024. The reason I got this, because I was just like, listen, everybody's ranting and raving about Frida McFadden. I have to jump on it. My bestie, Christy, she read this like, I think in 2 days or something like that, because she could not put it down, or one day she just couldn't like stop reading it. So here I am. So this one is back. It was on the TBR last year. Didn't get to read it, but it's back. Okay, and it is a series. So this is Heaven Official's Blessing by, that's the author, and I don't want to butcher the name. So another series I'm hoping to start next year is Wings of Ink by Angelina J. Steffert. This cover is so pretty, and I think that's what drew me to getting this, is because of the cover. I don't think I've heard too much about this book. This one I'm sure you've seen around, because there was a moment where this was just all over the place, okay? Everybody and their mamas, their brothers, their sisters, their aunties, their great grandmas were reading this book. I could not stop seeing this book. That is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick. I am excited because it just sounds like everything that I would love. Like, it's atmospheric. She like has something inside of her, like some monster. It's like lush, it's gothic. I love gothic books. This sounds like it's right up my alley. I know there are some people that they're like, what? This is not worth the hype, but I think that there's just a certain type of people that would love this book. And I feel like I am one. So next year, yes. Another one that I am so excited to read is The Book of Azrael, and that's by Amber V. Nicole. Listen, okay, this is what sold me, okay? Are you listening? You ready for this? The female MC is morally gray. She's the villain. What? I am excited. I am like super stoked about that. Yes. Absolutely, yes. I'm also excited about this one because, yeah, I mean, I'm just excited. So this one is House of Bane and Blood by Alexis L. Menard. And it's so funny because for this one, look at that stunning cover, firstly. I've seen it so many times being recommended to me, and then like I just had to buy it. Because look, listen to this. In a city split into two opposing sides, power comes in many forms. Bloodlines, money, love, and most importantly, secrets. So yes, absolutely. This has to be read next year. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't. Okay, I don't see why I wouldn't. So this one is another one that my bestie Christy was like ranting and raving about, and that is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRose, I think. Listen, this is another one that she said she could not put down, that she finished, I believe, in 1 or 2 days, just like The Housemaid. There's just certain books that she reads that she might love, and then when she tells me about it, I'm like, But when she tells me, bestie, this is like your type of book, and this is a book that you're going to love, I listen. Besties, I don't know why I'm going over each thing and giving you like a little story, but you know, I mean, this is just me, right? I ramble. That's what I do. So I apologize. You may have seen this book. No, you've seen this book. I would hope you did. But if you're new here, you get a pass. But you know what? I'll link the video up above. I fell in love with this book when I saw it. So naturally, when Babe told me I could pick one book in Barnes & Noble, I was like, yes, it's this one. The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Peñaranda. Yeah. I mean, I had to. There was no way that I was not going to own this book. And then the second part is coming out. I forgot when it comes out next year, but it's going to be stunning and beautiful like this one. So I'm hoping that I love this book, because if not, I'm going to be sad. Am I going to unhaul it? Probably not, because it's too beautiful. Do I usually unhaul books regardless if they're beautiful? Yes, I do. But you know, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I'm really hoping that I do love it. I hope. Please. I hope I love this one. Yeah. I mean, I hope I love all my books, okay? But sometimes that's not the case. You know, bestie. You know how it is. But yes, this one is another one that I am excited for, because I think it's like vampires or something like that. Another one that Babe got me on a whim because he was like, yes, this sounds like something you would love. That is Villain by Channing Lynn Feener. And I've never seen this book before, so I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know too much about it. I just know that it's obviously based on like a villain or something. Where it goes right here. And then last but not least is the Mindfuck series. I'm so excited for this one, and I actually could have been read it because it is on Kindle Unlimited, but I don't know, I just really wanted the book. And I'm glad that I got the one with this cover, because they changed the cover. And even though the other cover looks kind of cool too, because it has like a woman and I think it's like blood or something, but she's still, is she still holding the apple? Something, but I don't know, there's just something about this cover that is just, it's just unhinged, okay? It's just screams crazy psycho. I mean, maybe that's why I like it so much. I don't know. I will be trying to read like one book every month. That could change, because what about if I really love it and then I read 2 books that month, you know? It don't matter, because this is my world and it's about me and what I do. Oh my God, besties, look at that. Look at that. I know it's not going to be like this for too long, because if I like a certain book, I'm going to want to get the second book and so on and so forth. But for the most part, I am absolutely loving seeing that I didn't go overboard. That's the main thing. I didn't go overboard. Now let's go into the TBR knockout portion of this and show you the other books that I would love to read next year. Okay, so I'm just gonna start off with the one that I don't own, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, and that is Obsession by Harley Beck. Harley sounds more correct, but yeah, this book right here. I mean, how could I pass that up. Look at the cover. The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. It's funny because I wanted to read this and I was going to add it to this year's like TBR Knockout, and I think I did at one point, and then I was like,
girl, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And I took it back out. I was so dying to read this year, but regardless, it got picked as the book of the month for January, so I'm excited to be reading this with my Patreon. And then it's gonna be a book that's quickly knocked out, so that's awesome too. This Is Us by Kennedy Ryan, because I read the first book Before I Let Go, and that was like a 5-star read for me. I loved it, and it was, I believe, within my top 5 books of 2024. It was in the top, yeah, it was whatever the video was called, but yeah, I'm excited for this one too. I'm excited for all my books. What am I talking about? This will go somewhere over here. And of course, bestie, you know I gotta add a Stephen King book. Hello. The one I'm looking to read is Christine. And that's funny because that's my bestie's name. And yeah. Let's put this one right here. Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. And it's funny because when I read Fourth Wing, I didn't know that she actually wrote like contemporary romance. I just thought that was like her debut. It turned out being that she actually wrote a lot of contemporary romance before that. So here I am going to try this one. That's why, so it could go there. This one I just like added at the last minute, and that's Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. What? Hartman. Yeah. Appetite for Innocence for Lucinda Berry, and I'm excited to read a Lucinda Berry book. I know that a lot of her stuff is like disturbing, triggering. That's my jam. So yeah. Bardugo Berry. My brother's wife actually gifted this to me. She rants and raves about this book, and she was like, how did I not read it? And I'm just like, I don't know. I've been dying to read Alice Feeney book, and I'm going to start with this one, especially because it was gifted to me, and my brother's wife is also a book nerd. She highly recommends, so I'm super excited for this one. I picked this up right in one of my hauls. I heard parts of the audiobook on BookTok, and I am going to make sure I read this with the audiobook because I forgot who the narrator is, because I've been on this like roll of this book I'm getting an audiobook, that book, because oh my god. These men reading this, narrating this. Yes. Brother by Anaya Alborn, I think that's how you pronounce it. Confessions by Kanai, I think it's pronounced Minato. A Dark Lore by Lorif and White. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I know that some people say, oh, you can start with Just for the Summer and that it's a standalone, but it's confusing because it kind of is part of this. So when I look it up on Goodreads, it does say that Just for the Summer, is part of this like series. So I'm pretty sure it's like something interconnected where you could kind of read them out of order. But for some reason, for me, I'm just like, no, I want to start with the first one. So here we are. Local Woman Women. Local Woman Missing by Mary Quebeca. I think that's how it's pronounced. Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, and I'm so excited to read this one because I love Lynn Painter books. I read 2 of them so far, and I enjoyed them and loved them. And of course, like, I got the cute Barnes & Noble edition of it. Exclusive edition. Okay? Yeah. The Stillwater Girls by Minka Kent. Bad Mother by Mia Sheridan. As for Andrea by Noel W. in Italy. I don't know, but that's it. I don't know. There's something about this cover that I really love, and this is a book that I heard so much like stuff about on BookTok, and I was immediately sold. So here she is. Little Secrets by Jennifer Hillier. The Girls in the Cabin by Caleb, I don't know if it's Stevens or Steffens. Oh, I was waiting for that to happen, and unfortunately I blocked it. So Keep It in the Family by John Mars. The Good Lie by A.R. Torre. Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. And The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Besties, like, look at this. Like, what? It doesn't even fill up the whole thing. But again, that's only for now. It's gonna get filled and filled and filled, and then I'm gonna need space. Let me turn the books to their edges. This is the part that usually a lot of my besties love. They love seeing the process of me turning and the sounds too, so I will still leave that here for you. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it as well as I normally did because of my thumb, but I will try. So yeah, let's turn these books around. So besties, there's all the books that I'm hoping to read next year. That's also not including, hold up, these are like books that I didn't include in my TBR Knockout, but they are going to be included in my 25 books to read in 2025. Obviously, this is not 25 books. These are just 10, but these are 10 extra books that I added because I want to make sure I read these as well. Look out for that video, and that video will be coming, I believe, next year. No, not even I believe, it's coming next year. Hello. You'll learn which 25 books I decided to read and what are these mystery books. It looks so pretty now because it's fuller, and then I also have some space, so then I could add, you know, more books to it. And then of course with time, I'm pretty sure that it's going to, you know, trickle down, and then I'll go to this bookshelf here. But I'll worry about that when the time comes, because for now I have a lot of books again that I hold. Upcoming video as well. I got so many upcoming videos for you guys. Like, hello, who is she? She's working hard. Besties, if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, join my Patreon. And actually, speaking of Patreon, there is a giveaway. Join the giveaway because you get to be in my Patreon for free. All you gotta do is subscribe, comment below, and let me know, hey, Ginnie, I'm interested. Let's go.